In this video, I'm going to share with you 8 tips for shooting your first wedding film.
They met at the junior farmers dance. Finally, Kurt got enough nerve up to go and ask Chantel if she would dance, and she said no. No! Like, you know how hard it is for a guy to do that? So then he didn't quit.
The first tip is to shoot the wedding with a fellow videographer friend and/or shoot the wedding of someone that you know. The reality is that your first wedding is going to be stressful and chaotic. If you can have a second shooter or be the second shooter, this takes some of the pressure off of you. This way the wedding video is not going to be all on your shoulders. Another thing that helps is knowing the people that you are shooting for. Chances are that it will make you feel more comfortable and take some of the pressure off. They will likely have a better idea of what to expect from you and be more relaxed if something goes wrong. The first wedding I shot was with one of my friends for one of his friends, and this definitely made it less stressful. The second tip is to have multiple cameras rolling during the ceremony. This allows you some security if something goes wrong with one of your cameras. It's also really nice to have multiple angles. One camera facing the bride and one camera facing the groom is usually standard. Just remember that the ceremony only happens once, and this is a very important part of the event. You're going to want to make sure that you have good footage from this part of the wedding. Having multiple angles will help you make sure that you are capturing all the important moments of the wedding. Tip number 3 is to get loads of location shots. Location shots add so much to a wedding film because they allow your viewer a full picture of where the wedding is and what it looks like. This can be flowers, decorations, shots of the venue, pictures, signs. All of it adds to your video. Having a variety of shots will help you a lot while you're editing. If possible, I would recommend going to the venue the day before or showing up early on the day of. This takes some of the pressure off and allows you to get a variety of different shots. The fourth tip is to communicate with the couple and the photographer. It is important that you talk to the couple about what will be happening on the wedding day. When and where will they be getting ready? When will the bride put her dress on? Will there be a first look? What exactly is going to happen during the ceremony? The more you know, the more you can plan for. You definitely want to make sure that you're going to be in the right place at the right time. Also, make sure that you set the bride and groom's expectations for the finished product. This is your first wedding, so make sure that they know what they're going to get out of it. It's better to set their expectations lower and exceed them than set them too high and leave them disappointed. It's also important to communicate with the photographer. Make sure that you both know where the other person is going to be during all the important moments. The last thing you want is to be in the photographer's photos during the ceremony or vice versa. Tip number 5 is to think about audio. Having audio of the ceremony can add so much to your video. The couple, friends, family, they're all going to say such wonderful things about each other. Getting audio of these moments will help you to create a really compelling story and engage viewers in your film. The thing is, though, that it can be really difficult to get good audio at a wedding if you are inexperienced or don't have the right gear. For your first wedding, you may find it easier not to worry about audio at all. But instead, I would recommend trying out some different audio sources. I would make sure that the couple is not expecting audio in case something goes wrong. I would set up a lav on the groom and the officiant, and then have a Zoom recorder plugged into the soundboard. This way you are learning about audio and will hopefully leave the wedding with some sort of usable audio. There are plenty of tutorials about getting good audio at weddings, and I will link them below. Tip number 6 is to do your research. I didn't do any research on wedding films before my first wedding, and that was a big mistake. Before my second wedding, I made sure to give myself lots of time to watch tutorials from other wedding videographers and watch loads of wedding films. This will give you a good idea of what footage you need to make a good wedding film, and the tutorials will show you how to go about getting it. Most wedding films follow similar patterns, and I would suggest using this to create a shot list. The 7th tip is to rent the gear that you don't have. If you don't have a second camera, rent one. Don't have any way of getting good audio? Rent it. Need another tripod? Rent it. You get the gist. Chances are you're probably not going to be paid for your first wedding, so it may not seem to make sense to put in more money than you're going to make. However, chances are you probably want to shoot more weddings. The better this one turns out, the better it is for you and your portfolio. If a second camera or good audio equipment will help you to create a better piece of work, I would recommend doing it. A higher quality of work will make people more interested in you as a filmmaker. And the final tip is to be easy on yourself. Chances are, going into your first wedding, you're probably going to be stressed and nervous. I know that I definitely was. There's just so much to figure out and learn. But remember to be easy on yourself. Give yourself loads of time to get shots. Arrive early. Get a good night of sleep. Make sure everything is charged the day before. Bring lots of food and water. Preparing in advance will totally make you less stressed the day of. The reality is, though, that no matter how much you prepare, something probably is going to go wrong. But that's okay, because you'll just fix it in the next wedding. Just remember to be easy on yourself. And to drink lots of water. So those are my 8 tips for shooting your first wedding film. I hope this video helped you, and if you'd like to see more of my videos, be sure to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.